do, I'd like to introduce our guest for today. And I'm sure most of us are into startups, or you are thinking of getting a startup, or people are now social entrepreneurs. There's something I was taught at my yearly training. It says there's nothing bad about making money out of something you do to support your community or your society. So today we are going to learn more about that. Our theme for today is when to quit your job and yes, to focus on your startup. And we are doing it, or we are honored today to have our own Albert Yaw Opoku here. And I was talking of Twitter, but before I even give this hand, can we all give him a hand of applause? Yes, Albert is going to be our speaker for today, and when to quit your job to focus on your startup, that's our theme for today. And Albert's Twitter handle is Albert Yaw Opoku. Albert Yaw Opoku. So if he says anything or you tweet anything here, what you can do is you can mention him and can also use the hashtag Kumasi Konnect. Okay, so let's build the trends on social media. You can do it on Facebook, you can do it on your Instagram page, you can do it on your, I don't know, there's something they call Snapchat. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Snapchat, so I don't really want to go there. But please, let's spread on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the rest. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome again our speaker, Albert Yaw Opoku.
Hello, welcome. The last time I was under this kind of pressure and nervousness was all I'm going to propose. Fortunately, it turned out well. So I'm just hoping this also turns out well. You know. So welcome to Hapaspace. This is really where I work. So I'm playing home ground. I'm on home turf, so my pressure should I'm hosting a meeting. According to our topic, which is when to quit your job to focus on your startup, I think it gives the perception that most of us here are doing something already. Either we are working on something or we are an employee. And you always have this nagging thing in your mind that one day you also need to do your own thing. The bosses are not here, so you can confess. How many people are in that kind of situation? Yeah. I know Joshua can't raise his hand because his boss is sitting by him. So even if he wants to, he can. But your boss quits his job, don't worry, and he quits his job to start his own thing. So you are free to raise your hand. But don't call me when you go back to work. So many of us are doing something, and we've really been thinking about how do we start our own thing. Let me take a bit to my background and explain it so that it falls into sequence of what we're doing. I completed school in 2005, and I started working from here. Many of you might have seen this building right here in the British Council. So that's why I started as a national service person in 2005. I worked as national service, then became project manager for some really interesting projects for a year and a half, and then became the Kumasi office manager for British Council and was responsible for everything Ashanti region all the way up north, like British Council does. Then I left that and became what they called digital services manager for Southern Africa. So I was responsible for everything IT for 21 countries and did that for 2 more years. Now before joining British Council, I come from a family where my father owned a shop. So for many of us, who has a parent owning a shop, usually when you are in school, after school, you go and sit at the shop and you are there before you go and play. So entrepreneurship and owning a business was not something really strange to me. So all the time I was at British Council, I really wanted to own my own something. But when you start receiving a pay, it's not easy to quit. At all. But I told myself I'm going to work for 5 years. And exactly after 5 years, I was going to leave. So I started working at British Council as manager service in September 2005. And exactly in September 2010, I left. It wasn't easy leaving, but I decided to leave. share what I did to leave and my experience and what has it been so far since I left in 2010 to 2016. So the fact that I'm standing here after 6 years means I've survived. So I basically leveraged council to form Web Solutions, and we do just 5 key things. So this is like when you watching TV, there's a commercial break. This is the first commercial break. So I'm doing the commercial break for Apple, where we do 5 key things. We do cloud solutions, bulk SMS, web design, hosting, and domain. So those are the key things we do. I'll talk a bit more about it as we go. So this really has been my journey so far. Started working at British Council for 5 years in 2005. Then I stopped to co-found Hapaspace in 2010. Then 5 years later, we formed where we're sitting here, which is Hapaspace in 2005. When we really started everything. But we started operations really in 2016, February, when we started Hapaspace. Since we're talking about quitting your job and focusing on your startup, let's just get something quite clear from the beginning. My understanding of a startup really is you can either be self-employed or it's entrepreneurship or an entrepreneur. They are two really different things. But in the context for which we're going to have a discussion, when we say quitting your job to be a startup, we're looking at it from either you're going to become self-employed or you're going into entrepreneurship. We'll go further into explaining what this means. But in simple terms, a self-employed person works for him or himself. The only thing that changes is that you've changed your bosses to many more bosses. While the entrepreneur really is somebody who's employing other people. You see the difference. So those are the key things. So just to make it clear, that is self-employed. You can see that. You understand? She's selling the same thing as the one in the other bigger picture, but that's self-employed. This is more an entrepreneur because she most likely is hiring other people who work for her. You get the difference? But in any case, you might want to equate your job to either become a self-employed person, maybe a lawyer who lives a place and you're freelancing, an accountant freelancing. That's self-employment. Or you want to become an entrepreneur, someone who has a number of shops or a number of outlets and you employ other people. So that's what we're looking at. Many of you will have seen this. Only 2 out of 10 businesses make it past the first year. I don't know who did the research, but I see it everywhere. So if anybody is here who knows where this research was done, please let me know. There was a student who wrote an exam, and in the exam the teacher asked, why is economics a science? And he replied that Einstein says it's a science. Professor also says it's a science. My teacher says it's a science. Who am I to say it's a science? So this statement that 2 out of 10 businesses, I've seen it in so many books, so who am I to say it's not true? But over the last 6 years, I have seen that it's really true. I have seen several businesses that have started and failed in the very first year. We can go so much into why businesses fail, but that's not our focus of discussion. You can Google that out and you can find out. We don't want to focus on the reasons why they fail, but we want to focus more on when can you quit your job to actually focus on your business. But if you're going to quit your job to become either self-employed, sorry about that, or become an entrepreneur, there are a few facts I have found. So let me just share that so that you know what you are quitting your job to come and face. Unfortunately, I know there are a number of entrepreneurs in the house, so you can also add as you go. So these are some facts I have seen that affect some. If you're going to be self-employed or going to be an entrepreneur, these are some of the things I have noticed. Number 1, 25th. What the heck is that? When I used to work at the British Council, we were paid on the 25th. fixed money. So I anticipated and waited and always prayed for 25th to come. And when it was 24th, oh, I'm so happy. 25th, I'm smiling. When you become self-employed, and especially become an entrepreneur, 25th change. Especially if you hire people, and Sebastian can tell me. And 25th is coming. You start going mad. People start looking at your face, people start looking at you somehow. Because it is time to pay salaries. So 25th change. 25th will change forever in your life. You won't smile at 25th again. When you see 25th, you start running. That's the life of an entrepreneur. 25th becomes a whole different thing for you. In fact, you start to see better. I don't know why. But before I was an employee, I could print something out. This one from 10 grand. Go back. Let me change the font. Print. From 12. Okay. We print. When you become an entrepreneur, you realize that it's a two-sided product. You understand? You see that paper is not a one-sided product. It is two-sided. You print on one side, you print on the other. And therefore, today the feedback will give you. See, I've already printed on one side. Before we printed the feedback, we don't waste paper in this office. You start to see better. You see very, very, very well. Your eye changes. If you're a Christian, the Lord's Prayer becomes a whole new meaning for you. Because the Lord's Prayer says, and give us today our daily bread. When you're working today, you have a pay on the 25th. So you pray for the month. As an employee, an employer, or self-employed, nobody's paying you. It is hand to mouth. Now you understand the meaning of give us today our daily bread. And you pray to so much enthusiasm. Now you pray it by. Oh, you become healthy. An entrepreneur, you become healthy. Why? For many of you who went to university, one of the favorite things you to give up. Carrying a piece. And when you started working, you started eating pizza. Fried rice. No. But when you go back to become self-employed entrepreneur, you return back to poverty. Times become hard. So you start eating healthy. You see, you don't go to KFC any longer. All of this you stop. And because now you see that buying petrol is not easy, you start walking a lot. And that strengthens you. In fact, you become more healthy. You become more healthy. You start seeing Ghana holidays differently. When you're an employee, you mark them on your calendar. When you're employed, you don't want to mark it. When they say holiday, what holiday? I want to go on holiday again. It changes, even holidays change for you. Oh, and then you go natural. If you're a man, I leave your hair. Because you know that going to the barber 2 times every month is too expensive. The lady starts stopping with more and they say they want natural. It's not natural, I'm natural. But you go natural. The next thing really that happens is you start to discover all the shortcuts in Kumasi. Those shortcuts, you know all. Because nowadays you take a lot of drugs wrong. Because when you take drugs wrong, you pass through all the plates of corners. So before you buy, your pastor, your wife start asking, hey, I have so money in. And preferably over. Because now you know the cost of taking transportation. Things change. Your life really, really changes when you decide to become an entrepreneur. So, my brother and my sister, if you're here, this is what you quit your job to come and face. Now you understand why only 2 out of 10 businesses survive staying here. The truth is that self-employment or entrepreneurship is not for everybody. You need to have thick skin, big balls, be a self-entrepreneur. You will see friends who, after a year or two, you've been doing your own thing, seem to have moved further in life. I'll be truthful to you. One day I was coming here, I got down from a crossing and I was walking and I was pretending to be exercising. And then I got just to the apartment and I hear ping. And I look at the car and I really believe the person in the car was calling me because the car I am there. And I hear ping and I tell was my classmate. Look at the car, tear rubber, fresh. After he gave me bye-bye and went, I'm still standing there. In those moments, you question whether you're an intelligent person or not. Because you look at that person, remember in class, when you were 10, he was 15. And now you ask yourself, have you been a wise person in life? But the truth is that entrepreneurship is living your first set of years in a way many people dare not live. And then living the way of life in your later years, a way others can never afford to. So, it's not for everyone. But if you decide to leave your job, let's focus on key things. Since only 2 out of 10 can make it past the first year, what can you and I do really if we're going to quit our job to be sure that we stand a very good chance of being part of it? In my own way, this is what I have seen. Well, there's a mathematical answer to this question. It says 2 out of 10, isn't it? So if you try 10, you get 2 right. If you make up your mind that you start 10 businesses and 8 will fail, you most likely walk away with 2. Yeah. So if you decide to make up your mind like that, that's so fine. You most likely might end up having the 2. Just make up your mind that you're going to try 10 times. And by the time you hit number 10 or number 8, you most likely will hit number 2. And that's a more difficult one because by the time you survive number 3, you might, your phone will tell you that you are useless. Everything you do doesn't work. How much more test? But what we can do is to prepare well. So before we quit our job, let's prepare very well to stand a good chance in being part of the 2 quickly. Let's prepare well. So how can we prepare? These are things I have found out. Number 1, before you decide to quit a job, find minimum of 5 reasons why you want to stop. Write it down. Minimum of 5 reasons why you really want to quit this job. I tell you, on the 25th of next month, you need a 20 quit. But when time gets hard, you forget all the reasons why you wanted to quit your job. And the only thing you remember is that you used to pay your salary. Are you with me? You forget all the reasons why you quit that job. And the only thing you remember is the salary was good. So before you leave, write down at least the 5 or 10 reasons why you really want to leave this job. Why you are so tired. Why you are so pissed off with this job. Why you are so angry with your boss. Why? Write it down. I tell you, you need it. When time gets hard, when you become an entrepreneur or self-employed, go back and read this. And then remember why you left, or else you will regret. So write the reasons why you're leaving. Be sure to yourself that you have 5 solid good reasons why you want to quit. Learn to live on half of your current salary. No matter how much you earn, when you start your own enterprise, your business can never pay you the current salary you are being paid when you are working. Are you with me? And now it's already built a lifestyle whereby you are living a lifestyle based on how much you earn. If you leave suddenly and you go, your business can never pay you how much you are earning as a salary. So before you leave, before you go, start keeping half of your salary aside. Are you with me? This is what will help you to do. For the next 1 or 2 years that you are living on half your salary, you know how to lower your life, how to lower your standard of living, how to fix your budget and cut your goods according to half of your salary. Because when you leave, you have to stay on the other half. Are you okay? You get to survive on the other half that you save because your business cannot pay you. And you need that other half to survive until the business gets on its feet. Or else you always be chopping the business money. And before you realize you are falling into the 8 guy. So let's leave on half of your current salary. And then when you leave, that's the other half you are going to survive on as the business thrives and gets on its feet. Save and invest the other half. Our intention to put the word invest in there. Lock it in such a way that it's difficult for you to go and take it back. So if you are paid today 25th and you take knife and you divide the money into 2, go buy, I'm going to see a specific one, go buy treasure bill. The other investments, but I'll tell you what I'm saying treasure bill later on in the presentation. Go buy treasure bill, 3 months treasure bill and put it on rollover. Because if you do it now and you go home, before you get home, you already locked it in, isn't it? The treasure bill. And you go and your wife comes and say, honey, we ain't be sure I check. We ain't be sure I check. Take me to KFC. Take me to KFC. You lock that money. There's no way you can get it right now. But if you break your home, my wife is here. Let's It's good to get a co-founder. It's good. It's not a requirement. But the point is that if you do a little bit more research into why 8 other businesses fail, you realize that as a second, only you might lack certain skills or qualities or training. So if you bring in somebody who complements that, you stand a good chance of surviving. So if you can and you are able to get a co-founder to help you out. Next, I'll say begin with a service. So you can start with a product, you can do a service. Service is easier because it doesn't require a lot of capital. Sometimes all you need is your laptop and maybe the connection to the internet. It's a service. You are offering services to people. So you don't need to go and hire an office. You don't need to buy goods. You're starting with a service. So your cost of entry is really, really low. Start with a service. Again, it's useful because it enables you to look at where you are working. Most likely your business is providing services to some customers, right? But as you deal with customers, you realize they need other services which your business is not offering. So that's a place you can start tapping in, and then you can see if you can offer those customers some service or business where you work that's not offering them. If you're going to do goods or products, physical goods, I would say get countable products. This is the reason why. There's a saying that trust is not an alternative to control. Trust is not an alternative to control. There's still businesses me I will never ever do. I won't buy a taxi for somebody to ride. Why? I can't count. Are you with me? Photocopy machine. Because I can't know whether you did 100 or 200. How do I know? Somebody says, oh, even now that it has a counter. But we all know that when you do photocopy, some of them stop. How will we know? Maybe you do that for it. I mean, I've seen someone, photocopy is 50 pesos, right? And print is how much? So the person does print in 10, and he tells you that he needs photocopy. It's 20 pesos, and printing is 1. So once he printed one sheet, which is one sheet. You come to tell me he needs photocopy 1 sheet. Not print, photocopy. And take it to the It's not countable. And yet, I'll do something like cement. People have been doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, take stock. And I tell you, showers, send them away 3 times. The power. When I come and I count is 8. There's actually any. It's 2. And then 2 is gone. My money. So things like barberry shops. How do you know that if I bet 10 people or 20 people, you can buy CCTV camera? But the point is this: about putting out one next, where you have money. So, if me, I will get into any business which involves products. Truthfully, I will go into what? Things I can count. If I can't count it, then you are depending a lot on trust. Once you decide on whether you're going to do a service or a countable product, learn what is called the BMC, Business Model Canvas. It's a one sheet. It's just one sheet. But it makes you think so much about your business. Every aspect of the business idea. So instead of writing the whole 25-page business plan, the BMC allows you to really think through your whole idea. It's not like you're examining your idea, will it work or will not work, on a single A4 sheet. It's a powerful tool. So now you don't want to do a service, you don't want to get under that. It's your thoughts on the BMC. Are you okay? Maybe put your thoughts on the BMC. Now, test it out during the nights and on the weekends. So you haven't quit your job yet. You're still working. If it's a service, I think you can work on the nights and do it. I have a friend, for example, who sells shirts. He started a website, and early in the mornings, around 6 to 7, he go and do presentations at night. Or what he has, many shirts. Everyone can go onto his website and order. So he can't do a presentation, say here in the morning, and he goes to work. People can order online. In the night, he looks at all the orders, put them together, and the next day morning, he passes to FedEx, give it to FedEx, and FedEx goes to supply. Are you getting the point? So what he is doing really is testing whether the business will work. Once he's still doing his day job, other people too, you can do the things on the weekend and see whether the idea will really turn out well before you pick your job and sink your head into it. So test it for some time, maybe 6 months, 7 months, and see over the weekends, will this idea really work? And test it out before you go tell your boss you are leaving. Yeah. Take trustee twice a week. You see, you're already going to live on half of your salary. So you have to take trustee half a week, twice a week. Now, there's an interesting thing about taking trustee. It is a research ground. You hear all the things you need to know. And it is a humbling process. For someone who is working in a formal sector, to leave your car, not take droppings, go join a queue, and it takes trustee, takes a whole lot of mental commitment to do. What you're doing is building your mental capacity to live a real life when you leave your job. Try and take trustee. You understand how difficult this is. You might think it's easy. And remember, you are taking it twice a week, means you don't bring the car to work. So the morning you come with trustee. When you bring the room with God. When you go and you stand in the queue, and then you realize that it's not easy. It gives you a glimpse of how life will be like. If you can't survive being a trustee twice a week, you survive entrepreneurship, it's not free. It's your litmus test. Try it. Nobody says wow. Yes, wow. Try it. It's good to pay all your debts before you go. So if you take in some car loan, a house loan, grandfather loan, funeral loan, all those loans, snake loan, pay before people chase you. Pay because I don't want to be here when you go. Pay all of them and don't get yourself into debt. Try as much as possible before you pay. Alright, this one, get an employee. Sometimes it is better to hire somebody to do your thing for you whilst you are working and pay them out of your salary. Let me give you an example. Say I want to see whether my shop will work or my salary will work out. Are you getting it? Instead of me quitting my job and going to be there, maybe I'm earning say 2,000 a month. And this person, somebody I can pay 500 Ghana cedis a month. So it's better that I continue working and pay this person I'm hiring 500 Ghana cedis. I'm earning 2,000. To start the business for me to start this business will work out. You get the point. And for you to test and see. So if you can afford, get somebody who, and that is why I'll do countable products. You get the idea again? Because then I can go and we can count. It's easy for me to know how much sales have been done today because I have an employee. So try to work on it. Now, this also teaches a lot about leadership and management if you do this. When you work in an office with other people, you can afford to know I can make You can do that. And you said that you don't talk to that other person in the department or in the next you know how can you go and with your employee? It's impossible. So no matter the kind of frustration or the kind of way people deal with your employee, you can't do that. It trains you. You learn that. But it also saves you the ability to test your business before. I would say see your job as what? A business school. Learn all that you can learn. There's a company in Nigeria called Andela. You've heard about them. A few people ahead. Andela, it's a serious business. They recently got 20 million from Facebook. Not cities. Let's add a currency culture. $20 million from Facebook. And their MD was speaking and said in Africa, it's best to work in a formal sector for at least 4 or 5 years before you start to start up. Because outside, the kind of ecosystem they have made it so easy that if you are a student and you need to start your business, you can survive. But in Africa, you have to go to work to learn those skills which are not taught in school. So when you work for someone for 4, 5, 6 years, and they are now leaving to go and start your own something, you know management processes, you know what tools to put in place to ensure that employees are accountable. You know how to track sales. All those things, you learn it at your job. So if you see your job as a business school, then what happens is you start learning beyond what is required of you. That's when you start even going to talk to the accountant to understand how his work is, how the work is related to it. You talk to the sales manager, you understand everybody's role, because once you become self-employed, you have to do all that. Once you own a business, you have to know how all of those things work. So see your business, your job as a business school. I put this up because if you see your job as a business school, every entrepreneur or self-employed must understand what's called the BI triangle. It's called the business intelligence triangle. You should have a fair idea. You should know what your product or your service is. Are you with me? You should know what's legally required of you to be able to do that. So what's the kind of registration system you should have? If you're going to offer a service, are there some other requirements, legal requirements that you need to meet? You need to know that. You learn that at your workplace. You need to know how systems work. The difference between Opoku trading and the woman who sells in a shop near my house is systems. The woman near my house has a provision store. If she puts me in a shop, they need to make me out of fair, Are you okay? Oh, but Opoku trading, we have to favor systems. Are you getting the point? You learn systems from your job. You learn how systems work. You learn the importance of communication, which is key. And then the biggest, most important thing is cash flow. You learn all this from your job, and you should make sure that before you leave where you are working, you have learned all these and know how all of these work in your own workplace. Because whatever you're going to do, these how to do these ones, you most likely will end up at the other 8 and not the 2. So these things are key. And this is something you learn at work. So let's just recall some few key things. So before you quit your job, remember, test to be sure you have a good chance to make it in the 2 out of 10. So as I said, start with a service, get a countable product, start taking a course, leave on half of your salary, get somebody if it's possible to be an employee. Test this, make sure you have a good chance of being in the 2. Remember, you and I were not there when it was decided that 2 out of 10 will survive. So let's work hard to be part of the 2. Leave on half of the salary. I'll emphasize this again. Key thing, even if you do all of these, there is no guarantee. There isn't. You can still fail. But now you have a higher chance of being in the 2. Are you with me? You have a much more better chance of being in the 2. But the truth is, it's worth it. Oh, it's so worth it. When you succeed, it's so worth it. It's tough, it's hard, but it's so worth it. Being an entrepreneur is tough. So during those tough times, what gets you going? I'll share with you what makes me survive and what keeps me going. Learn from the tea bag. You know the tea bag? Tea bag. When you put tea bag in water, cold water, does it brew? When you put it in hot water, what happens? So you see, they are all like tea bags. They become very good, and our best comes out when you go through hot water. Why? An entrepreneur, you go through hot water. And remember that when you go through hot water, you're a tea bag. You are doing the best out of yourself. Remember the elastic band? You know, men, the band that we have in our boxer shorts. You know band, elastic band, that one. So let's say you have an elastic band which the length is like this, right? When you hold it and you stretch it to the end, that basically is the full potential of that elastic band. Are you with me? When you leave it, what happens? It comes back. But there's something that has happened. If you had checked the length of the elastic band before you pulled it to the end, and when you left it, you realize that it becomes longer than it was before you stretched it. So anytime you do something and you fail, you haven't really failed. You're just taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. It's still a forward move. So once you're an entrepreneur and things are going tough and things are getting hard, anytime you face hard times, remember that you've done 2 steps forward and it's just 1 step backwards. You're an elastic band. You've been stretched back, but you haven't come back to where you were. Are you with me? So when you fail, you haven't failed, you've succeeded. Failing is part of the process of succeeding. In entrepreneurship, it is not getting it right first. That's in what they say, get it right first. When it comes to self-employment entrepreneurship, you'll be right, but it's not usually the first step. Remember the last one. Remember the magnifying glass. You know the magnifying glass? In school, we learn something interesting about the magnifying glass. If you take the magnifying glass and you take paper and you go and stand under the sun, you do the experiment. Because I told you, what is experiment to do the whole school I went. So I remember it very well. And you put it, the magnifying glass on the paper in the sun for a long time, it bends. What actually happens is that the magnifying glass is taking all the rays of the sun and concentrating it on one single point. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs trying to do so many different things at the goal. Take one thing, focus on it, and make it better before you move on to the next step. I do. Take one thing, do it well, fail, pass, and then do it well, succeed, move on. Don't become a grasshopper. You try this today, you work, you move on, and then you try this today, you work, you try this today, you work. Take one thing and focus on it. Remember the seed. A seed has to go into the ground. It has to get rotten before it grows. When it gets soft, you are in the ground. You are rotten. You have to go backwards. So when you start, you used to be somebody who used to ride a company car, and now you are taking trust. Just remember you are a seed. You move from the top of the surface of the soil, and now in there. You have to rot and germinate all over again. Remember the stamp. When you see posting a letter, those times you take a stamp and you have to store it. The stamp will stick to the envelope no matter where the envelope is going. So once you decide on what you're going to do, remember the stamp. Dedicate yourself. No matter how many times you feel it, go on. Remember the stamp. Oh, I moved up. Okay. Remember the axe. The axe. Many of us who might have lived in the village before, when you're going to cut down a tree, you spend so much time sharpening the axe. Because you know if you don't spend that time doing that, when you try to go and break a tree, before you come all your appetite, what the living God. But if you sharpen your axe, when you go, all it takes is 3-4 strikes, and the tree is down. So sharpen your axe. Your axe is really the things you need before you quit your job. So that when you come, it just take a few more effort and your business can succeed. This is interesting for me, the raindrops. Many of us live in a house where they've cemented the floor and has a roof, isn't it? Have you noticed that where the roof line is, on the floor, if you look there are these small holes. Where it rains, there's a small hole. Sometimes we. Now imagine that you are giving water in a cup, and we should be standing there pouring it down so that will happen. How long will it take? Yes. But you see, the raindrop has done that. By little effort, every raindrop, 1, 10, 10, 10, 10. Ultimately and finally, he achieves something. So consistency is the key. Be consistent in what you want to do. Focus on it and be consistently dedicating yourself to do it. The key is consistency. You will get there. Remember the water kettle. The water kettle that I have in my house is the one that you put on the stove. And then when the water hits 100 degrees, it will bing. Yeah, you see that one? Yeah. It means that it takes hard work and pressure to bring out your true talent. The water kettle will can whistle until the water reaches boiling point. So when things are getting tough, remember your water kettle, man. Soon your talent will blossom. It will come out. So keep on going. Remember the biscuit. Have you ever tried breaking a biscuit into two? It will never break the way you want it to break. It will never break the way you want it to break. So no matter all your best plans, things might usually not go the best way you want it. But that doesn't mean you fail. You are just like the biscuit. You still will break it and you still will proceed. But look at what next and continue. Remember the needle. The needle has a hole, yet it is used to fix holes. Isn't it interesting? But nobody fixes the hole of the needle. So when things are tough for you, just help others. Because some people have worse problems than you. Remember the pencil? We all use that to learn in our lives. But it comes with an eraser. It means that the pencil knows you make mistakes. But before you can learn, you will have to use the eraser. So also in this life, you're an entrepreneur. You need a pencil. Yeah, pencil. Write. Make mistakes. Clean it. Don't give up. Write.